Hi, Peter. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, Eric. My pleasure.
So tell us just a little bit about you and your firm before we go into marketing stuff.
Okay, so Twohy Architects is me. I have two employees. We focus exclusively on residential architecture, so that's new houses, additions, whole house remodels, and now I get to choose my clients based on what interests me to some degree. Because I get to select the projects I want to do rather than have to do every project that comes in the door. So that's good.
That's great that you've been able to reach that point where you are able to pick and choose. This happened for you in the last couple of years. I guess you signed up for the Internet Marketing for Architects course a couple of years ago. How were things before? Were you on the slow side?
I wouldn't say slow. I would say I wasn't at maximum, so maybe at 75%. I did very well through the recession, which, is a surprise to me, actually. So it was a pleasant surprise. But I wasn't at full steam, and I wasn't able to say no to clients. I pretty much had to take whatever came in, which to some degree was fine. But there were some clients that would have been better for them and for me if they had chosen a different architect. Those are personality issues, not really professional issues.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay. And so what happened when you started focusing on marketing? Was there a change in your mindset about how marketing fit into your work?
yeah. So before your course, I thought of marketing as something I didn't really need to do, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought that if I did a good job, and I get referrals and enough work for everyone. But that's not exactly the case, and so I started thinking of marketing as an important part of my job. So one that I need to focus on from time to time, um, and make some get the name out there.
You're now in touch with these people. What do you send them, and what does it do for you when you're sending the newsletters?
Yeah, so I have to say this wasn't my idea. It was Brody Bond, who's a friend of mine and owns a business. It's Blue Ocean Ideas. We had lunch together, and he said, "Peter, here's the idea for you. It's just send them one from 2E." He's riffing on the 2E architects, and the one is one photo, one caption, once a month. And what we thought, really, what Brody thought, and he was right, is that once a month would be enough to keep me top of mind. If it was a different business, once a month probably wouldn't be enough. But architecture, you're hiring an architect once or twice in a lifetime. So it's a careful decision, and so people don't just make that as a spontaneous decision. So if they get a bunch of emails, um, just it looks good for me. So the photo I send, sometimes it's a floor plan, sometimes it's those are after photos. I send renderings. I try to write a little caption that helps um, subtly. It's enjoyable to read for the person who's getting it, but subtly it helps them to to portray me as an expert. I mean, so I am. This is what I do for a living. Um, so it's so I try to express that.
Mm-hmm. So they get one image and one caption, and it keeps reminding them that you're there and that you do interesting work. And are there links? Does it take them to your website or what?
Yeah, so my plan there was to update the website enough that I could link to the website, and that would be a good thing. But the reality of the situation is I'm not equipped. I'm not a computer guy, so I'm not equipped to update my website. So instead of that, I early on switched to Facebook, and now I'm switching it again from Facebook and back to Facebook to House. So both of those websites are very, very easy to update. And so for example, last night I did this. So I put a project on Facebook and linked to that. And the whole process takes me about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, because it takes me a while to come up with just the right caption. That's the hard
Hmm.
part. What you need is the link so they can do something and see more if they want to.
So when they click on it, they go to your Facebook page where there are more images of that project.
and very recent images, right? So I can update Facebook in a matter of seconds, but to
Hmm.
update my website takes longer.
Hmm.
And the same thing with House. So I have a presence on house.com, and
Hmm.
that's also extremely easy to update.
Right. Okay. So you're keeping um, things fresh. You're
Hmm.
also each month reminding people that you're there and that you're doing some creative work, and you show something interesting or beautiful or both. Um,
Exactly.
Now, ultimately, that you've kept in touch with a lot of people. I understand that some of them are more influential because they, in turn, reach people. So you've been putting on your list or added to your list some editors and writers. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. So part of what I'm trying to do is keep the Twohy architects growing, and the way I see to do that is to influence the people who influence others.
Hmm.
So one is interior designers, so I keep them on the list. But the one that you mentioned are writers, local editors. I try to meet them and then get them on the list. I tell them I'm going to do that, and normally they're excited because they want to see the images too. But as a result, I'll be in again, this is in Baltimore. So Baltimore Magazine in July, and Chesapeake Home is supposed to run an article on me in August. The reason I say supposed to is they have a new editor, so I'm not sure whether the new editor is going to take the plan of the old editor. I suspect she will, but
Hmm. So you've been published, I think you said 4 times, or
more now.
okay. So
So
tell us just about how many times you've been published and what has been the result. Have you gotten direct inquiries from
mm,
these?
yeah, so I find it to be so I would say like around 8 times now published, and one national magazine like a Remodeler Today, or I don't even know what the name of it is, but it's a national magazine rather than a local magazine. For me, I think the better ones are the local ones because people look through them, and I do get direct inquiries from published work. So I'm always interested in trying to do that for uh, you know, plus it impresses my teenage kids. To be frank, do that like that. It's hard to impress a teenager, right?
Right. So the newsletter is going out to a variety of people, including these editors and writers. And so you're finding that these some of the editors or writers contact you about the work that they've seen, or are they just saying, "I have a space in my calendar. Or let me contact Peter Twohy because just comes to
It's
mind."
both. So a couple of months ago, I was in Chesapeake Home because they needed a bathroom. Peter, do you have a bathroom? And she called me because she gets this monthly reminder that I'm, a person that can be called. And so I said, yeah, I got a bathroom. What do you want? This one, you got this one, you got that one. And she picked one, and then she wants to do another one because she liked two, as a part of the Baltimore Sun. There's a remodel of the newspaper. So, again, it's another avenue. So
Mm-hmm.
it's both though. So the one most recently, I sent an email out maybe 2 3 months ago. It's a beautiful whole house renovation, and it's very much publishable, and the writers and everyone they want to do it. So it hasn't been professionally photographed yet, and there's some issues of timing, whatever. But we're working on that. But so that's the one where it's direct. But the
Mm-hmm.
indirect is, where, oh, we need a fill in the blank kitchen, something.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're in a good place now, and you really don't need to make any changes in terms of the whole marketing side because it's working.
Right. But that's, I would advise me, if I were advising me, just because something's working now doesn't mean you don't continually look at it and evaluate where it is. And again, like, because it's working now doesn't mean it couldn't be working even better. So
Hmm.
there's, but for me, take a deep breath in 2 years, and then I'll start to think about maybe a year and a half, start to think about what's next.
Hmm. Okay, well, as I said, congratulations. I really appreciate hearing the backstory of how you've gone from being on the slow side and basically having to take every job that you potentially could get and go
Right.
after it vigorously and regardless of whether it was going to be a great client or not. And now
Hmm.
you're able to really focus your work on the things that you're going to be proud of and that you're going to enjoy working on.
Right. And thank you, Eric. I mean, obviously, you've been a big part of my success. I mean, and not only from the marketing side, but also from the ArchiCAD side. And so it's been for me again. I thank you very, very much.